Hi, it's me, Crystal, and I would like to invite you to join the Green Milestone with me. So I want to start out by asking a few questions, maybe some of which you've asked yourself before, or maybe some you've never even really thought about. But first of all, I want to ask you, how much fresh water do you think that you use every day on average? Or how much garbage do you think that you produce every day on average? Or where does the water go that you're using? What are you using the water for? Or where is the water coming from? How much water do we actually have on this planet to use? So I want to go over some of the answers to these questions, and they might be a little surprising to you. The answers certainly surprised me. I just really had no idea of the magnitude of the wastefulness and how much we actually use. So first of all, the average person in the United States is using over 100 gallons of water every single day. In addition to that, they're producing over 4 pounds of trash each and every day. So that is 100 gallons of water and 4 pounds of trash for every single person that lives in the United States. And the numbers don't change that much in other countries. Everybody is producing a lot of trash and using a great deal of water, and these are just a couple of the things that are really depleting our resources. Now, so how much water do you think is available in the entire world? Well, there is actually less than 3% of fresh water available to all of us. And of that 3%, only less than 1% of that 3% is actually accessible by people. And that's because about 87% of that is frozen into glaciers. The other 12% of that is beneath the ground under our feet and we can't get to it. And like I said, that leaves us less than 1% for the whole entire world to share. It's just not that much. So it's a common misconception that because the earth is covered in water, we have all this water to use and we're never going to run out. That's just simply not the case. So overall, people are quite wasteful with their resources, as I've said, but there is a lot that can be done to change that. There is hope. So people in general are wasteful, but I don't think this is because they don't care. Instead, I think that people are really just unaware of how much damage we're actually doing and how wasteful they are actually being. So one thing we can try to do is just reduce our overall ecological footprint. And what your ecological footprint is, it's the impact that a person or community has on the environment, and this is expressed in the amount of land it takes to sustain their use of natural resources. So, for example, if everybody lived the way that you did, if everybody used X amount of water and bought X amount of things, then we would need 3.5 planets to sustain everybody. So that's kind of what an ecological footprint is. You can take a little quiz and it'll spit back how many planet Earths we would need if everybody kind of lived the way that you did, or how many miles of land you personally would need to sustain that type of lifestyle. So it's an interesting way to kind of put things into perspective. So why is this so important? Well, we only have one planet and we need to take care of it. We don't have a backup planet. We don't have some planet next door to us that we can hop on a plane and zip over to once we've used up all of our lumber and all of our food and we've destroyed our oceans and just destroyed everything. This is the only planet that we have, and so if we don't take care of it, then who is going to? And also, if it's not only for us, it's going to be for our future generations. We have our children and our children's children, and we don't want to leave them with a planet that we've just sucked dry and left nothing for them to live off of. There simply won't be enough left for people to sustain life here. So overall, with the growing population, there is a growing need for things. There's a growing need for water. There's a growing amount of trash. And so this is something we really need to zero in on and try to do something to change the way that we live and the way that we're using things, because it's just coming to a very critical point. Our resources are limited, as I've said before, and this includes things like our fresh water, our fertile ground, our food, And even the fresh air that we breathe, we're running out of the fresh air that we breathe because we're emitting so many poisons and toxins into the air. So we're just simply running out of every resource that we have. We've done so much to destroy and devastate our planet but there is things that we can do to turn it around. So we don't have to be stuck in our old ways. People can change. And although we can be wasteful and careless, like I said before, I don't think that it's our conscious decision to try to ruin our planet. I just think that people don't really know exactly what to do or how devastating what we are doing is being. So the great thing about human beings is that we are capable of change, and we can change what we're doing. So how can we reduce this ecological footprint? There are a few ways. Like I said before, the personal usage of water. Maybe you just think about how much you are consuming. We're not really using all of that 100 gallons of water a day. We don't need to take the extra long showers or let the water run that extra amount of time when we're doing the dishes or brushing our teeth. So there's ways of doing that. Or maybe the next time that you go into a store, you can think about the things that you're buying, because here's some other statistics about the agricultural and industrial use of water. Here's just a couple examples of that. But your pound of beef that you eat, 1 pound of beef takes 1,850 gallons of water to produce. Your average pair of blue jeans takes 2,900 gallons of water. So for each pair of blue jeans you slip into, that's almost 3,000 gallons of water. So when you go out and you're purchasing things, maybe you can think about how much water is used to make those things. We also can reduce the amount of garbage and waste that we produce by not buying as much trash, not buying as much packaging that's over the top of what we need. There's just so much unnecessary packaging, and we can try to look for things that don't have that. Or when we do buy things, we can use the recycle bin. It's not hard to separate our trash so that things can be reused and aren't dumped into landfills or wasted. There's also ways we can reduce the amount of greenhouse gases that we're emitting by not driving as much. Maybe walk or carpool or take the bus. So if we all put a little bit of effort into this, I really do think we can all make a difference. And here's some reasons why it is worth it to recycle. There are some personal advantages. There's things like it'll save you money on trash pickup. You don't need the trash pickup to come as much. So there are monetary incentives there for saving money, also for recycling, like recycling cans. I mean, there's certain states, certain places that offer a monetary reward type thing for recycling certain items. You can also recycle or compost your old food by putting better nutrients kind of into your garden, or just into the earth. It doesn't need to go into the trash. And also, people tend to feel good when they are, kind of trying to work together to save the planet a little bit. It gives you a sense of working together and being a part of the bigger picture. So there are different advantages. And the alternative to joining the cause and reevaluating your lifestyle is simply, the alternative to doing nothing is we're just going to continue to live in a wasteful and inefficient way. And it's not a matter of if we're going to run out of resources, it's just a matter of when. So it's very important that we try to make some type of change. So why not join the effort to make a difference? What harm could it possibly cause to try to reduce your ecological footprint? It certainly couldn't hurt to give it a shot. So overall, human waste, the garbage we produce is just too much. The overconsumption is just too much. So we have to do something about it. And if every single person would just take a moment to evaluate their ecological footprint and maybe just think of a few ways that they could reduce it, it would make such a huge difference. And it's not going to happen overnight, but we can at least start somewhere. So it is true that not everybody is a leader, but you could be. So if you maybe start making some type of change, it might just be you now, but you can set an example for other people to hopefully make some type of change, to not be as wasteful. And it can ripple effect down to where all of us are doing our part, and it can really make a difference. So what I've done is I have posted a couple links next to my video. I would like to ask each one of you to kind of take a pledge from today and this day forward to reduce that ecological footprint. So if you go on to these websites, you can take a little quiz that'll tell you what your ecological footprint is, and it'll even give you some ideas of how you can reduce that. So thank you for watching, and I really hope that you will join the Green Milestone with me. Thank you.